Hey traders, it's Hima here, and I've got a skinny dip for you that's a close look at the ES and NQ futures charts. Today's Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. Now before we take a look at the charts, important reminder that trading and investing can be extremely risky business. Therefore, it's your responsibility to evaluate any information, opinion, advice, or other content contained in this video. So let's start with the ES. So that's the E-mini S&P 500 futures market, which I review daily in the full skinny lifetime, and we're starting with the June 2020 contract, just the contract chart. So the annotations that you see here are all detailed in my reports. I publish the reports with a 60-minute chart because that to me is the pulse of this market. It serves my day traders and my swing traders. Now, it's always important to do your own multi-time frame analysis and look at the daily chart. And what I'm seeing is the following. As I detailed in my recent reports, I saw key timing coming in for Friday, April 10th. Now, as you know, Friday, April 10th, the market was closed for Good Friday. Forecasting methods don't really care when the market's open or closed. They're just measuring the days in the cycle or the amount of time blocks in the cycle. So what I knew was likely is that we'd either have price action slow down or pause either into that date or shortly after it. Notice that after last Friday's session, only Monday did we have another edge higher. And then since then, we've had 2 days really close up against each other in terms of their highs. Also holding against the February 28th old low. This in combination with the RSI power zones on the daily chart just edging back into the bear resistance power zone has me essentially not really trusting the rally. Now, not trusting the rally, that's an emotional Hima measure, right? You shouldn't go and trade off of that. So let me highlight a couple of things going on in the world that feed into why I think there's room for further downside in the ES futures. First, everything to do with the threat to the economy related to the COVID-19 crisis is still very much to be played out, while the actual medical impact is starting to show some signs of turning for the better. You know, New York and the state of Washington seem to be at their peaks and plateauing. Other states may come up soon and then start to wind down as well. That's the medical impact, folks. The economic impact, which has so many legs to it, those are still to be determined. So as you navigate these broader markets, especially during earnings season, it's really important to see that the current recovery in the markets is considering, yes, the stimulus as the immediate cure for the economic downfall tied to the virus, but we still have no idea how it's going to actually perform as a cure long term. Okay, loans are still being applied for, handed out, etc. So with that bit of fundamental background to it, I want you to pay real close attention to what continues to go on in the ES market around that 2850 level, specifically 2848.75. And of course, I'll be following this closely every day in the ES futures reports in the full skinny lifetime. Now let's go look at the NQ futures. So here's a chart of the mini NASDAQ. So NQ M20 E-mini NASDAQ 100 June 2020 contract. Right out of the gate, you can see that this has been a bit stronger on the daily chart than the ES. It's recovered 7/8 of the move down from the March 3rd high. Now, RSI power zones are also back at the bear resistance power zone, but they've taken much more time to get there than it did on the ES. So with the NQ in its current position, I suspect further short-term downside, again, for the next several hours, possibly a day or two. And I closely monitor this twice a week in the full skinny lifetime. But the key low here is a little bit farther away from the current price action. It's Monday's low from April 13th. Unless price moves below that, there's still room for further upside. And again, because this futures contract is comprised of price action relating to technology stocks, many which have remained robust during this economic impact, it's not surprising that there could be further upside in the NQ. You've got to watch the short-term price movements along with momentum, time, price patterns to really understand where it's going to go day to day. But looking at this daily chart, again, part of multi-time frame analysis, gives you a big picture view. So with that, be extra careful as you navigate this earnings season, especially with the individual stock components, and consider that when you're trading or putting in positions around these broader markets. Catch you next time. You can sign up at himaready.com/gift to get my hot, timely, actionable updates as soon as I publish right to your inbox.